Chantal, tell me something. You factored the denominator? What did you get? Okay. So if you had this, that would become x plus 2, x minus 2. In short, without really much explanation, it would have been 2 plus x, 2 minus x. Raise your hand if you got that. Now, if you didn't get that one, you could have factored out the negative one. Did you do that? So you could have done something like this. If you factor out negative 1, negative 1 times something equals positive 4. Class, what is that? Negative 4. Negative 1 times something equals negative x squared. What is it? X squared. So this would be your expression, and so when you factor this, then you would have just a negative 1. Raise your hand if you got this part. So you can have either of these. It's not wrong. We're okay? The point is, Chantal, yesterday's lesson, or a couple days before, can I cancel anything? You were thinking the x squared's here? Remember, these are factors. That just means that's multiplication, but this is they call it an add-in. So we can't cancel those. Okay? So can you cancel anything? So you can write this. This is a fact. No canceling means no what? No donut hole. Raise your hand if you knew that. Okay, good. Let's get something else. Cindy, tell me something. Is that what equal to 0? So all of these are, you're saying each of these equal to 0. So she's saying set those. Tell me what's right. And then when you solve for this, what do you get? 2 and negative 2. Cindy, what did you find here? Did you find an intercept or an asymptote? Vertical or horizontal? Vertical asymptote. Raise your hand if you got that. Wilson, tell me something. How about yesterday's lesson? Horizontal asymptotes. Yep. Okay, why did you reduce? Yeah. What is your top degree? And your bottom degree? And what inequality did you write? They're equal, so you're saying to reduce. So if I write 2x squared over negative x squared, how do you reduce this, Wilson? If I told you to simplify. Yeah. What does x squared mean? If I ask you what is a root beer float, and you broke it apart, what are the parts of a root beer float? Yeah. Root beer and ice cream, right?
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay, so what's x squared? Yeah. I'm going to put a 1 for the negative 1. So how would you simplify or reduce that now? Yeah. What's left? And what is 2 divided by negative 1? Positive or negative? There you go. Y equals negative 2. Raise your hand if you got that. All right, Sarah, what are we missing? Yeah, you're Sarah, right? Sarah R, sorry. Intercepts, yes. What intercept do you want to find? How do I find a y-intercept? Say again. X is 0. Tell me what's right. Go ahead and simplify the numerator. Sarah, a lot of students get confused here. Is it 0 or undefined? You are correct. So we got 0, 0. Good job, Sarah. Sarah A. What else can we do? How do you find that? Tell me what to write. Uh-oh. How do I solve for x? How do you make 0 a fraction? Yeah. Okay. Now what? Morning. Multiply? What type of multiplying? Everyone talk to your partner. How do you solve proportions? Ready, set, go. Yes, Sarah. Okay, I like that better actually. If you said cross multiplying, that is okay, but what she's doing I like better. She's doing 4 minus x squared on both sides. This is essentially what cross multiplying is doing. Okay, Sarah, what happens here? Cross off these?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what? 0 equals Good. You're going in the right direction because all of this times 0 equals 0. The reason why you multiply both sides by 4 minus x squared is to remove this, so that's why they're canceling. Okay, solve for x. In PEMDAS, going down is simplifying, going up is solving, which means we have to do these first. So you're going to divide or square root? Divide. And you get what? Still you, Sarah. It's the Sarah show. Yes. Zero undefined? Correct. Okay, now what? Correct. Take the square root and you get x equals 0. So our order pair is 0, 0. Raise your hand if you got those. Alright, do we have enough puzzle pieces yet? Let's try to graph it. I'm going to graph my vertical asymptotes first. 2 and negative 2. Class, why do you think we're doing this? Because it's going to be on the quiz and test. You mean I teach you and I expect you to learn it and show it to me? Yes. Yes, that is true. Okay. How about a vertical asymptote? Vertical. Horizontal? Class, is it okay if it passes the horizontal asymptote? Yes, that is okay. Class, count with me. Ready, set, go.
1, 2.
So I should expect how many? 3 graphs. My oranges. I know the graph's going to go through here. I'm going to suspect that it's going to be something like this. Below, above, below. Or something over here, here, and here. Notice I have not even touched my calculator yet. I do want you to show me all of that. And I'm thinking over here, eventually now I'm going to show you guys how to use a table of values, how to graph, if I haven't shown you already. So let's put it into our calculator, but don't press graph. And I'm going to put in the original problem, or you can put in the factored one, doesn't matter. I recommend the original. 2x squared. Let's press click. Parentheses 2x squared, close parentheses, divided by 4 minus x squared. Don't press graph. Don't go to Zoom 6. Now let's talk about a table of values. So if I go now to second window, what did I press, class? And then right here you're just double checking like where it's starting. I don't really care where it starts. I do want the table to change by ones. You can do auto and auto or ask and auto. It basically says, do you want to automatically figure out x values for you, or you put in the x values? Dependent means I want answers automatically done for me. Does that make sense? Now I'm going to go to table, which is second graph. So go ahead and press that. And what you kind of want is you want values. Let's try to make a very clear visual. Do you see those blue lines here? I know it's kind of weird. Look at this. Watch this. Those are kind of like the blue lines there. What do I mean by that? You want to pick numbers to the left of -2. What are numbers left of -2? -3, -4. Okay. I want numbers in between. What are those numbers? -1 and 0 and 1. And then I want the vertical asymptote because we already know what do you think the calculator is going to say at 2? Error undefined, right? And then what numbers to the right of it, like 3 and 4. Does that kind of make sense? And then you can just copy your calculator. Now you're appreciating your best friend here. Just copy those numbers down. You can copy them to the hundredths, thousands, doesn't matter. -3, -3.6, -2, undefined. I know the calculator says error, but we know it means undefined. -1.667. I'm just copying there. I could make you do all of that by hand, but good thing we have the calculator. 2, undefined. 3, -3.6. And then 4, -2.667. Okay, what do I do with that now? I just graph it. Okay, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then -2.667. So between -2 and 3, there's -2, there's -3, closer to -3. -3 and -3.6. 1, 2, 3, go down to 3, between 3 and 4, closer to 4. We know it's undefined. I know my graph's going to go through 0, 0 because we already did that algebraically. -2 is the asymptote, -1. 6.67, so closer between 0 and 1, closer to 1. 0, 0, and then same thing on this side. Undefined, and then 3, and then -3.6. 1, 2, 3. -3.6, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then down -2.667, looks like that. Sketch graph, I think it's going to look something like this. Do you guys see the puzzle pieces coming together now? All right. The great unveiling graph. You don't need a calculator. You can now understand how to graph that by hand. And then you can go through a bunch of stuff. Is there symmetry? You can do it algebraically, right? Increasing, decreasing, domain and range. But hopefully now you know how to graph both a vertical, horizontal asymptote and kind of put all the puzzle pieces together. And then Monday we'll talk about all the 12 different types of basic graphs.